right, what's up, everybody? It is Monday. Welcome to the Ref Room. I am Scott Smokin Silz, being joined by our local referee-in-chief, Brad Baumruck. It's over. I can't believe it. It's over.
Almost.
It never really ends. You know that, but it is kind of over for everybody, and at least in the Chicagoland area. I mean, we've still got some guys going to the districts and nationals and all that good stuff, but for the most part, it's over.
Districts are over, Scott.
They're done. See, well, what can I tell you? I had nothing to do with that. So how did our teams do?
They all did very good. The Chicago teams did really good. So, the ones that were there represented well as always, and good. It was a good time. Referees did really good that were there. We only had 4 there because Iowa staffed most of it since they were the host event, which we understand 100%. Yep. So they brought in guys from Wisconsin, Illinois, and the Missouri area, and everybody worked and had a good time. The women's
you supervised, right?
Fond du Lac.
Didn't you supervise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there.
What advice did you have for all those good referees that were there?
The ones that I worked with mostly just didn't have 4 official systems in their area.
Oh wow!
That was the big tip for them because they just unfortunately don't have the system. So
Jeez.
They really don't know where to line
up. And they're
up.
working nationals and they have no 4 official experience. That's wild.
That's what the district is for. So they were able to get their experience there. So, there were some people that, didn't know where to stand for a face-off, or, they didn't know exactly what they're supposed to be looking at. Like in the 4 official system, a lot of the people both referees follow the puck. That's not the way the system's supposed to be designed. So, it's some quick points that you can give some people. And you know what? So, with the officials that were there, they were very receptive. So that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. Was it just the Iowa officials that haven't worked the 4 official system? Does Wisconsin use the 4 official? Or I know they do a lot of 2-1, 1-2.
Yeah, and they do, they do the 2-1 and the 1-2, and they use the 4 official as well, so they do have some of it. Iowa, unfortunately, is the lone man on the totem pole, if you want to put it. But they still have 4 officials too. But it's just some of the officials that were coming in still needed some work on it, just because they don't have a lot of feedback out there either, because they don't have a lot of referees. So their assigners are there, but they have limited feedback because either they're skating, or they're just in another rink. So they have so few officials. They're spread pretty thin, so we try to give them pointers while we're there.
Well, we've got a special guest today. I want to bring him in right now because we've got lots to talk about. And that is our good friend, Brett Straley, who's joining us. What's up, Brett?
Hey, how we doing?
Welcome.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you back. Yeah. We were just talking a little bit about the districts. And, one of the things we were going to cover today, after we talk a little bit about some other stuff, we're going to cover, like, moving on and getting to those next levels like yourself, because I know you're working some NCAA stuff now, and of course, you had one of the championship games here in Illinois. You got to work what I thought was the best game. I think you got the best game.
It was a great game. It was a really great game to work.
Yeah. I saw some of it on YouTube. It was pretty exciting watching it live. And, what a wild ending to that game, because, the team that I had picked to go all the way on this one, which is North Central, they managed to get to the finals. They were down 1-0 with about a minute left. It was a minute and a half, something like that. And there was a penalty, and they ended up scoring basically a lacrosse goal, which was a beautiful goal, and a good call by you guys, not having a stick above the shoulder on that, because that was a great call. And then, of course, it went to overtime. Right. So tell us what it was like. I mean, what's it like going to the UC and skating? You work a lot of big games where you get big crowds in the stands, but I'm sure some of the people you work with, this is a new experience for them.
Yeah, I'll go through that. I think, Brad, did you have something real quick?
I did. I was going to point out that you've been taking a beating online for that goal that was scored. So
exactly.
I was standing right behind the net, 100%. It's a definite legit goal. Brett was
Boom,
in a
like
different
that.
spot than what's
Sell
thought,
it.
but he moved back back in order to make sure that he had the sight on the call, because you needed to be able to see that guy in front. And if he would have stayed on that goal line, which a lot of referees would have, they would have been blocked out by that goalkeeper. So Brett accordingly went backwards to get that good vantage on it. And, you know, he was only standing about 5 feet to my left, and I was directly behind it. And it was a good goal, and it's sad because I shook my head yes. I guess one of the lines saw it, and they were like, well, Brad saw it. It was a good goal. So
the goal judge, the unofficial goal judge has given you the point.
No, I didn't point. I
didn't see the red light go on, but honestly, that was a big moment in the game, and you're right, Brad. If I'm at that home base spot or even moving in a little bit closer, I'm in the middle of that play right there. And, you know, that's one of the things we've got to think about, right? There's a way to do it according to the book, and then there's a way to do it to make sure you get it right. And I'm not saying that I get it right all the time, because God knows I get it wrong just like everybody else. But you know what? That's the biggest moment of these kids' lives, and it may be the last time they play in a big game. I owe it to everybody on that ice and everybody in the building to be in the right spot to get that right, and hopefully that happens, and it just worked out okay in that particular situation. Because I'll tell you what, the Wabanzi bench had a different opinion, and like Brad mentioned, there's a lot of people online that have a different opinion as well. And
there's actually somebody right now, Scott.
Here's what I would like to say with regard to that, okay? Every call makes somebody happy. Every call makes somebody happy. Just remember that, everybody. Because one bench may not like it. Guess what? The other bench loves it. Probably the best call of your life. Even if it's a trip or a hook. Best call of your life. They're happy. They love it. They just don't tell you about it. That's the difference.
Correct.
They don't go over there and come here, I want to praise you for that call. You don't get that. Instead, you get the other team that, you know. So it is what it is.
Scott, pull up that comment there. There's a comment right at the end that I'd like
the last one?
Take the last one.
All right, let me just kind of bring this in a little bit so we can all see it, okay? This is what a lot of people thought. Blade above opponent's shoulder doesn't make it hit shaft of stick. Where is the blade? So here, let's explain the rule to a lot of people, because a lot of people don't understand this. On a stick above the shoulder. Yeah, I'm going to put my pen out here, and hopefully you can see it. So my pen is level, or kind of level, like that. It's level. There. Let me do this. I'm going to just kind of switch this over to a solo screen so we can see what we're doing here. If this is your blade right here, and this is the butt end of your stick, if you have your stick down like this, when the puck hits the stick anywhere, including the blade, this is the higher part. Even though it didn't hit this part, this is the part that counts as, is it above the shoulder?
So hold on, though. Hold on. The people are getting
going
confused,
back to you guys,
especially with this comment here. Blade above the opponent's shoulders. Yes, the blade was above the other team's shoulder.
The opponent's shoulder. It's your own shoulder. If you're 6'5" on skates, like Brett probably is, are you taller than 6'5", Brett?
I'm about 6'5", 6'6" on skates. So yeah.
Okay, so you get a higher stick above the shoulder room to work with than somebody that's 5'2" on skates.
Not really. Our bodies are pretty proportional no matter how tall you get. It's a different height based upon your shoulder. That's the best way that they do it. The reason that they do it that way is they don't use the crossbar, is because mites are not even as tall as a crossbar.
Right.
So you'd have the stick up in the air.
They would have the stick up in somebody's, face to get to the crossbar practically. So.
Right. Yeah. So that's the misconception. I've seen this quite a few times where it's the opponent's shoulder. Yeah, I got it. The other guy was shorter than him. Guess what?
Right.
That don't matter. It's the guy making contact with the puck. But go ahead, back to where you were going with it. So I got where you're. Go back to the stick hitting part.
Yeah. So, the point being that if again, this is going to be the blade of the stick, and if the blade is up here and the puck hits down here, if this is above the shoulder, then you've got a stick above the shoulder call. It's a high stick. But if it's the opposite, let's say this is the butt of the stick and the blade is down here and the puck hits anywhere through here, as long as this part, it's whatever part is above, it would have to be above your shoulder. It's not where the puck hits the stick. It's just, do you have your stick in the wrong spot? Your stick is up too high. And I think that's a big misconception for so many people. So many people.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to bring you into the fire on this one because I just thought it was an exciting game. I didn't realize you were getting that much heat for it because I'm watching on YouTube and I'm like, yeah, it's a good goal. So,
yeah, no, this is the thing, and I've had this conversation with many people for various decisions that I've made. If somebody has a question, I just ask them to ask me the question. I'm totally good with answering questions on decisions that I've made. I just want them to ask me the question. I don't need a statement, I just need a question. And I think that's the same thing when we think about communication in game, right? Go up to the coaches before the game. Hey, if you have any questions, let me know. No, we'll be good. 5 minutes into the game, they're screaming things at you. And you go, and he says, I thought you said, if I have a question, let me know. And I go, I did say that. And I'm still waiting for the question because I hear a lot of statements, baby. But I hear one question.
yeah.
And then, you know what? It brings a little humility to the situation. They're laughing, and I'm laughing. And they go, you're right. You did say, if you have a question, let me know. And, long story short, I'm okay answering the questions. Listen, this is why we do this. It's for this. I mean, how many times do we sit in the ref room, no pun intended, and talk about things just like this? This is why we do this. It's so fun. I mean, if we didn't have this insatiable urge to do this, we just wouldn't do it. And it's conversations like this with coaches, parents, players, anybody that cares, grandmothers, aunts, uncles, it doesn't matter. We're okay with it. Why? Because we chose this. It's not, somebody didn't bestow this on us. We chose this.
Well, let me just say, the reason this show came to light really was because these are the discussions that we have in the ref room. And where do we have them? In the ref room. So that's exactly what this channel is. And, we've tried to convey that to coaches, players, fans. This is a spot. We'll give you these answers, the questions that you have all the time. And here's just a high profile situation where more people are witnessing this and going, what's the deal here? So this is the place to come get the answer. So.
Well, the good news is even when you give the answer that it's played above the shoulder, you still get the people that are going to tell you that you're wrong.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on right now. So
right. People have an opinion, and that's okay. And then I just ask them, if you have the guts to make that decision because you believe you're right on some technicality, I urge you to come on out with us. I urge you to stand 5 feet from the goal in the state final game and wave it off once.
Yeah. It's pressure, baby. Pressure.
And likewise, and to point the goal. Right? You got to make a decision. Yeah. There's nobody making this decision for you. Good or not good, you got to make a decision. And there's no time for pause. It's this fast.
All right. Let's put this one up here because I think this is kind of summing it up, what people are asking, and I want everybody to be able to see this. So he says, Rob says, a player has their stick blade above the height of the shoulders. That's the blade of the stick, not the shaft of the stick. The blade is above the shoulders. The puck strikes the butt end of the stick.
With the puck.
It just came off here.
Scott, just it's the player that is making contact with the puck. Their shoulders.
Yes. It's not the opponent. It's not anybody in the building. Like we got a 4-footer over here That would be above their shoulders. That doesn't work. If you're 7 feet tall, if you're Chara, you get more height with the stick than somebody that's not Chara's height. So, yes, that's accurate. So any part of the entire stick is considered to be high. Therefore, in the case, no goal can be allowed, and the ensuing face-off is held at a defensive zone. Actually, yes, it would be your own defending zone, because if you have a stick above the shoulder anytime, the puck goes all the way down to your zone.
Correct.
Depending on which, if you're in the defending zone, then it's going to stay right there in the defending zone. If you're the offensive team, it's going to come back to your offensive or to your defensive zone. So it would go all the way down. I hope that explains it.
He's saying that it's the opponent's shoulder, and it does not state that in the rule book.
It's not the opponent's shoulder. Yeah.
The exact thing is when the puck is played above the height of the shoulders with the stick, play shall be immediately stopped, and face-off will be conducted at the end zone spots of the defending zone of the offending team. The offending team would be the one that has their stick over their shoulder when the puck is played with the stick, and it would go down to their end zone, not anybody else's shoulder. It's that player playing the puck.
Correct.
And that contact with that puck, that player did have that stick above his shoulder, but he waited. He brought it down, and when it went past his shoulder, he played it perfectly into the net. It was a good goal.
Yep. Yeah. Nice baseball swing, lacrosse swing, whatever you want to call it. Beautiful.
I think Brad has himself on mute.
Yeah, I think there's a technicality here because when a player is high-sticked, that's when the opponent's shoulder comes into play.
Correct.
And that's in the note, right? So I don't think everybody needs to get lost in the technicalities of a high-sticking penalty versus high-sticking the puck. So Brad is 100% correct on high-sticking the puck because you can't say, oh, the goalie in this particular situation we're talking about is on his knees. Of course the puck was hit over his shoulders. Of course. Mm-hmm. So we can't use that. But if you high stick the player above the normal height, and I think that's the key word here, the normal height. So the player's on his knees. That's not the normal height of his shoulders.
Correct.
It's a different penalty.
Yep.
So I don't want people to get lost in the technicalities of a high stick. I think we just need to kind of roll it back to what Brad's talking about here is the normal height of the player that played the puck. That's simple.
Yeah. Yeah. So
we can get USA Hockey's interpretation on this for everybody.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
I'm sure
it was a great day at the UC, and I have to tell you, it started out, I got to have lunch with Brett because we had gone to the Chicago Blackhawks Alumni Association Scholarship Luncheon, which is probably the biggest deal of the year. The entire Blackhawk team. Yes, I even walked past Connor Bedard. I was shocked too. Like, yeah, there's Connor Bedard. Didn't try to stop him to get a photo, but he was right there along with all the others. The team owner, Danny Wirtz, there. All kinds of alumni players there. Chris Chelios getting an award there. I mean, Troy Murray there. Even Pat Foley came in for this one. I mean, that's how big this is. Like, everybody's there. Cliff Coral got a Lifetime Achievement Award. Great player back in the day. Great coach. Big part of the Blackhawks organization. Darren Pang was there. I mean, you can go down the list. Peter, is it Mrazek? I always pronounce his name incorrectly, but Mrazek, the Hawks goalie, got the award for Player of the Year, I guess. So there were some very nice awards given out.
Wasn't it?
And
wasn't
of course,
sportsmanship of the year, and he got in that fight the night before.
Yeah, well, it wasn't for sportsmanship. It's for it probably helped get him the award, getting in there, taking one for the team. But it was really great, and of course, we had 3 scholarship winners from Chicagoland, from our hockey community. So, congratulations to Nicola Felice, Alex Gaida, and Max Sambong, Providence Catholic, Lake Park, and Marist, in that order. So, yeah, it's very cool. And Coach of the Year went to Jason Hawkins, So congratulations to Jason. He's been around forever. Always one of the good guys and does a great job with his players. So pretty exciting day. Very, very nice. Really enjoyed it. So thank you for making that happen. I had fun and got to sit with Brett. As a matter of fact, saw Fish there. Let me throw. Here's Fish, our president of Iowa. He didn't expect this, but there he is in the Hawks locker room. What's that?
With garbage cans.
Garbage can speaking of garbage cans, when you take these pictures, you move the garbage cans, guys. What are you playing? Pong ball there? Are you playing beer pong or something before this game, or what?
I was not touching one thing in that locker room. They were nice enough to let us go in there. I am not touching anything. That is their space. If they said I couldn't be in there and get out right away, you can't take the photo, I would have immediately left. That's their space. They have it set up. Yeah. I'm not one to mess with something like that. Can
I tell you a funny story about Blackhawks locker room?
Is this the Justin Bieber story?
No. I at the old Chicago Stadium, I got invited to come skate at the old Chicago Stadium with a couple of Blackhawks that were back because they had been injured, so they were just skating at the stadium. It was Jocelyn Lemieux, who was my good friend, and Steve Conroy was on the ice, the three of us. So I'm in the Hawks dressing room, and I'm getting dressed, and this is awesome. Like I'm gonna skate on the stadium ice. Best ice, best building ever. Sure enough, I get dressed. All of a sudden, the equipment manager comes up and he's like, dude, what do you think you're doing? And I'm like, what did I do? I'm minding my P's and Q's here. He goes, well, you can't put an enemy jersey on and come in here. I had my men's league jersey, which was a Calgary Flame jersey I was putting on. So he goes, no, if you're going to be here with us, you dress like us. He goes, Steve Thomas's uniform is behind you. Put that on when you're out here skating with us. So sure enough, I put on Steve Thomas's black practice jersey and went out there for 2 days dressed with another jersey. But yeah, it is intimidating being in those locker rooms. And, they do, like, there are definite things that you have to adhere to. And who'd have thought, all I'm doing is getting dressed to go skate. Who knows better? But I thought that was funny. Anyway, so really nice day. If you guys ever get a chance to go to something like this, highly recommend it. And the food was great too, by the way. Brett's shaking his head.
Yeah, it's super good. I mean, the whole experience is just top notch. I mean, and that's what you get with the Blackhawks, right? As you said, Danny Wirtz is there, just making sure everything goes off without a hitch. The Blackhawk Alumni Association, just top notch. Troy Murray, new president over there. I mean, everything that they do is 100% top notch.
First class.
And yeah, it's a wonderful experience. And, for Nico, Alex, and Max, what a great day for these guys. And I know, Scott, you and I were just sitting there thinking, there's a good chance that a couple of these kids are actually older than Connor Bedard.
Yes. You're absolutely right.
In the world.
Absolutely right. Because, you've got a lot of there's a lot of players there. A lot of the schools bring players to this event. A lot of the coaches are there. And, Bedard's just 18 years old, right? Is he 19 yet? I'm not sure.
No,
he's 18 as far as I know.
He signed his contract for a month or so.
If you're a senior in high school, you're probably 18 years old as well. So think about that. And this is a great comment. Yes, the cans are to keep people off the logo. Yeah.
Right.
That's a big thing in all the locker rooms in hockey. You don't get to walk on the logo. The players know it. And for those that don't, now you know. If you don't know, now you know. Joe Prescott, another good friend of the show, checking in. I keep moving these around for us so you can see them. But first off, I was there. The stick was below the attacking player's shoulders. Good goal.
Thanks, Pops. He was there. Saw him trolling.
Yeah, I saw him too. Yeah, one of our good friends. Let's see this. Second, unlike the guys on the screen, I am not good with someone writing that there was a corrupt call. Well, thank you for that, Joe. I agree with that. I think everybody here has a lot of integrity that does these games, and it's the best of our best. That's why they're there. That's why they're there. Brett Straley is in the top 3 officials in Illinois. He is easily in the top 10 of the district. That's a nice compliment coming from Joe Prescott. By the way, happy belated St. Patrick's Day to you, Joe. I know that was a big one yesterday, so we'll wish that to you now.
Yep.
Glad you're here. But yeah, that's a great compliment. And speaking of that, Brett, I mean, I know you're working a lot of the other leagues. You work NCAA now, is that correct? And tell us a little bit about that and like how you get to those next level leagues for all the people that are watching that want to move up.
Sure, I'll go into that, but I think before we move on, I think I just want to wrap up this United Center experience because I think I kind of owe it to everybody just to kind of just at least talk a little bit about what goes into a day at the United Center. I mean, something I think everybody should shoot for is one of these particular games. I mean, it's not every day you start with Blackhawks alumni lunch and then go right over to the referee locker room with everybody else. And just a quick congratulations to Erica, Matt, Sale, and Scott who did the women's game. It was Tommy Noto, myself, Matt McManus, and Steve Gapsky on that combined game, and then Ricky Farron, Sean Molina, Tom, and Ed on that red game. I do feel really great that I did feel that we had the best game of the day. What a great season for Chicago North. I mean, that's 2 years in a row, all the way to the end in overtime. Heartbreaking. Yeah. But, man, they left it on the ice. Mm-hmm. They didn't give up. Minute 31 was that last goal. It's etched in my mind. Yeah. And Wabanzi just said, it's not today. Unfortunately, not today. Yeah. And it was a good shot to finish that thing off. So congratulations to Wabanzi. But honestly, a lot of people that made that thing happen down there. Brad was there supervising with Brian Fisher, John Dunn, Jack Weinberg, and then let's not forget Andrea Hahn and her staff over Vice President of Amateur Hockey at the Blackhawks. Just unbelievable. She's got her entire staff working like dogs back there in combination with all of those people that I just mentioned to make this thing happen. And it's an absolute, again, just as the Blackhawks do with everything, a first-class operation. We're back there, hospitality room, referee locker room is fully stocked, ready to go, just like any other pro locker room. I've been in a couple. Yes, I only worked the minor league, so we don't get it. We're not back here getting, nice dinners and things like that, but I'll tell you what, it's as good as it gets. And, you're in the building. I said, the first thing I said to my crew that morning was, listen, guys, 200 by 85. It does not change anything that we do. I said, pay no attention to the number of seats around you, whether at Heartland Ice Arena or the United Center. It's still the same rink. Do you? The reason why you're here is because of what you do on the ice. And hopefully that translates. People do get itchy trigger fingers out there. Seriously, when you're in a building like this, here's the thing. The puck goes above the dasher and you're not used to it, it's extremely difficult to pick up. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple situations where it's obvious to everybody in the building that the puck has gone up into the protective netting. It's not obvious to us on the ice. It's difficult. No. Really, you're looking at all of the nonverbals, right? All the body language. Yeah. Is that in the net? Yeah, it's in the net. Okay, let's get that whistle. So there's all these little things, and we had a couple of those situations in our game where the puck goes up and we had some inadvertent whistles down in one of the attacking ends. But you know what? Everybody gets it. Everybody understands. And I think there was only one other situation. We had a little thing after the play, and I just kind of looked over at one of the players and I said, hey, you do realize what game this is, right? Just to draw them back in, just like, hey, we're all here together. This is not the game for that. And, he just kind of smiles at me, and now we're on the same page. And he's like, yeah, the moment got the best of me there. But honestly, the atmosphere, top notch. The experience, top notch. The cruise, great. I mean, again, that's why we're here, to work, to skate, to hang out, to do this, because that's kind of what we do. But it's really just an unbelievable experience. When I came back, some people know, some people don't, but I took like a 20-year break from officiating, and I came back and I was at the I think it's the U14 little combine they do, A-High does, and Brad, I think that's coming up here in April, right?
Yep, I just got the dates.
Yep, awesome, yeah, and I went out there for that, and somebody said to me, you should really make it a goal to make it to the UC. I think that's an achievable goal for you. And that really stuck in my mind for a very long time about, I think I'm just going to keep working, keep my mouth shut, and what happens, happens. And it happened this year, and I'll tell you what, I could tell you exactly where I was when Brad called me to tell me about it. It's something that you won't forget. And hopefully it was a good experience for him. It was a great experience for me. I mean, it's an overwhelming thing. You're in the building, and I skate in these, not that building, but I skate in some big buildings. Sometimes they have a lot of people. Sometimes it's dressed like a seat night. But I'll tell you
Night's
what,
attendance is
atmosphere.
2. Zamboni driver and the person that's cleaning.
Right, and you know the Zamboni driver way too well, because when you walked in, they had some, oh, not you again. But, it's always great to be in these buildings, but to be in that one, is unbelievable. So, I mean, for everybody here in Illinois, that's what they should be working for. And there are so many people that can and will be rewarded with this experience that I'm looking forward to being there in attendance. I don't think it's something I'm going to miss ever again. Why? Because I feel like it's something that I want to do to support our officials. It's a big deal, and hopefully everybody doesn't lose sight of that.
How were the nerves getting on the ice for the first couple minutes? Were the legs a little tighter than they normally would be, or?
Not for me. I rode the bike about 14 times. I was good and stretched out. I'm good. I didn't have any problems. Honestly, I was good. But I'll tell you what.
The adrenaline flowing?
A picture. It was hot. That's the one thing I remember. It was hot out there.
Oh, okay.
It was
the one thing I do remember. Go ahead,
one thing that I'll say, Brett was on the bike about 14 times, and he must have stretched 30 or 40 times. And let me tell you, if they don't have an unlimited coffee budget at the United Center, Brett definitely overstepped his coffee intake for the day. He was ready and raring to go. And I just want to back you up with the phone call, Brett. That was the first year that I had made the phone calls. It was done by the past referee in chief, John Dunn, last year, just because we had too much stuff going on at the time. So I got to make it this year. So I'll remember where I was when I talked to everybody in my second office in the car. And but I remember still when I got called to work the same game that you did in 14, 10 years ago. And it was definitely something that I'm never going to forget. So I'm glad that I could be a part of that memory with you. Just so you know, there's a lot for me too. So I appreciate you pointing that part out.
Yeah. Now, your partner in crime there for that particular event, Tom Noto, likes to indulge in some coffee too. Did you take my advice and keep him a little bit decaf?
Yeah, we actually had that conversation. I didn't tell him you told me, but he did already say he had his fill. Like, he was good.
Yeah.
He did. I'm good on the coffee.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did
I'm a caffeine junkie too, right here with this stuff. So I get it.
Yep.
Anyway,
Just to go back to the nerves, we took a crew photo on the ice just before the opening drop, and the guys on each side of me, they put their arm on me, and I'll tell you, they were shaking.
Yep.
It's a thing. Like when you feel the bass of the music in your chest and you're on the ice, here's the one thing you would think you would really remember is when that horn goes off on a goal. You'd think you'd remember that. You don't even realize it. Honestly, you don't even hear it. And there's a couple times I've said to people like, "Oh, get ready, you'll probably hear it," and I say, "Oh, did you hear it?" Never heard it.
wow.
You're so focused on really what you're doing.
Have you been to the Park Ridge rink since they installed their horn?
No, I didn't know they had one.
They tore the building. If they haven't torn it down, I think they took the ice out yesterday. But they put up a horn this year, and that horn is so friggin' loud. I mean,
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the real deal.
I remember my steps just for the fun
It was the last thing they put in that building that they spent some money on. And I hope they'll take it to the new building because, yeah, it's the real deal. They put a real one in there.
That is great. I haven't been there in a while. Probably since the last time I climbed the glass there, doing like a main game or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But that is awesome. I did not know that. Now it's down my list. Do you know how long it's going to be before that new building's up over there?
I talked to Greg. I saw him. So it's supposed to be in 2025.
Okay.
They don't know when in 2025, but 2025 is when it should be back online. And what I'm still trying to figure out, there's talk of 2 sheets going in Rosemont, that's a done deal, that it's going to happen. But I still can't find the location. I've driven over there a couple times. Are they going to build in the parking lot? Because I was told originally between the Target and between Allstate Arena, there's nothing going on back there. There's a building that looks like it's almost like a business office for Allstate Arena that's back there, that's fully built, that's been there. They're not going to convert that into 2 sheets ice. There's no way. And then somebody said, well, it's by the water tower. Well, that's like across the street, and there's stuff there. Yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out where this place is going to be located because I just can't figure it out. I've gone over there. I'm like, let's see if they've started on this because it's supposed to be up and ready for next year. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Let's see. 100% Brett, it was a special day from Sean. Yeah, Sean, congratulations.
Yeah, it was awesome to see Sean there. One of the best officials in our whole area. I mean, what a great
look at the caliber of people we have working these games, okay? Like Brett's working NCAA. Sean played professional hockey. Ricky Farron
for Notre Dame. He played in Notre Dame and he played in the Coast. I mean, that's legit.
Yeah, and I'll even throw this one up now. This is our crew. This is for the JV quarterfinals. Steve Popes, that played for the Blackhawks with the bands on, former NHLer, giving back to the community. He's hockey director for the Hawks, but here he is. And, of course, my man Brian Smolacek, one of my good friends, is out there with me. So right here, we've got over 150 years of hockey experience on that ice for a JV quarterfinal. Think about that. That's,
what a great thing.
A lot of experience, a lot of people that just love the game so much. And, it's a great give back to the game. And, Brad, that all the time that you've donated, like over the course of the year and all the things you're involved in. I know how crazy busy it is. Same thing with you, Brett. I know you're really involved with the board, and you guys give a lot back, and it goes a long way. I don't think people realize what's involved with a lot of the referees here in the Chicagoland area because they are very busy and very active in the sport. And
make no mistake, what Brad's doing, what Brian Fisher's doing, what Anthony Ferrito's doing, what Gaffney's doing with the website, and hey, shout out to Scott, new Instagram today, check that out. Illinois hockey
it's got 47
officials.
followers.
Cool.
Yeah, 27 in like 2 hours. But check that out. It's linked on the IHOA website. But all of these guys, just so much time, so much effort into trying to get this thing right. I mean, make no mistake, these guys are not out here for themselves. They are not, I mean, literally everything Brad's doing, what Fisher's doing, what Anthony's doing. I mean, these are like the workhorses of the group. It is so much work just to get this thing administered. It's unbelievable. And I mean, the end of the year today, I had 2 or 3 emails in my IHOA email today for the first time on a Monday. And I cannot even tell you how many months. And man, it was a great feeling to know that I didn't have 5 hours of work to do after my work day. After whatever. And Brad and I are on the phone or texting or whatever till all hours of the night. And Fisher's calling me and Jack Weinberg's calling me and like
a lot of people.
Random stuff, right? Like everybody's in this for the right reasons. They're not in here to mess with people and to make this more difficult than it is. It's to do the right thing for the game. And
right.
just a big thank you to everybody. And Scott, I mean, make no mistake, you're out here, this podcast every single week. I mean, okay, there's obviously exceptions, but this is a big deal. And I know it's not an easy thing to do. This is a commitment. This is not, we don't just show up and like this thing like runs itself. So kudos to you and all of the guests that you had on throughout the years. This is good content. I listen to it. If I'm not joining live to listen or watch, it's at night. You know, when I'm going to bed, I've got one earbud in and my wife's ready to murder me because she can hear the damn thing through the ear or something. She's like, I'm really we're doing this? Like you're trying to sleep, you still got the damn podcast on?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, because I care about it. I want to know what's going on. Unfortunately, maybe it's a sickness, but anyway.
I mean, all of us that do this are very passionate about it, and you know, it shows. I mean, it shows in the work ethic. It shows in, you know, when you're at these rinks and you're working with up and coming officials and new officials and trying to get them started and get them interested and develop them. You know, there is a lot of work that goes into this and so much that people don't realize. I mean, Brad has been responsible for putting together the seminars for the last few years, which is huge. And if you want to become a referee, you've got to take a seminar. And somebody's got to teach those classes. And he relies on volunteers to teach those classes and help out. You know, it's not easy. It's not, you know, it's time consuming. People drop what they're doing. They can't go ref games that day because they're going to go help out and teach. You know, and do what needs to be done to help get the next generation of officials ready to go. And speaking of like doing some charity, Brad sent this over. We're going to give a plug because the Ice Hogs have I'm going to show the jersey first. They are auctioning off these jerseys from St. Patrick's Day. By the way, they won 4-1, so they're lucky jerseys.
They did.
And, you know, here's how you can participate, and all the money does go to the community. So, Brad, I'll let you explain everything to them because you're kind of pumping this up here.
Yeah, I took a look at it today. So if you just go to the Ice Hogs webpage, they do have a quick link there. It's also on their Facebook. They're auctioning off, when I looked a couple hours ago, right now they have a customizable one. And the bidding for that was $500, and I think there were 4 or 5 players on there. One, I think the goalie's one was like already at like $2,000. So
nice.
Maybe that one might be a little too rich for your blood, but they do take it and they put it back out into the community. So it's definitely something worth, us taking a look at. I know the Wolves do it too. I took a look. Unfortunately, you probably just have to keep your eyes open for it. I didn't see it yet. I don't know if they played at home over the weekend, to be honest with you. So, but I did take a look. I didn't see anything. I know that they've done it in the past. Maybe they won't this year because Rockford is. But definitely worth it. And, Rockford's an extension of the Blackhawks. And, to see them putting more back out into the community is the reason that I wanted to bring it up. because Rockford is a minor affiliate. They don't have the capital that the Blackhawks do, but yet they're still out there trying to make a difference for the community. So I think that's just a big thing that we should.
If you like to volunteer, they need more volunteers for the disabled games. Reach out to Jack Raz. He's always pushing for that. So thanks for chiming in on that, Jack. Appreciate it. And hopefully we'll get you some
quick
officials.
Shout out to that group. Anytime you can do one of the disabled disciplines, man, it's a life-changing event. Be it sled hockey, the blind hockey, warrior
I've done
hockey,
the hearing impaired many times.
Hearing impaired, yeah. I've worked with everybody, I think, except for Jack's warrior team. I've done that. Gaffney and I had an off day in Peoria once. We went over to Peak, and the Bloomington sled team was over there. Just these young kids. Yeah. I mean, like literally, the hair standing up on my arm right now thinking about it. It's super emotional. What a great experience to be part of one of these disabled disciplines within hockey and just see the kids just come alive. It's unbelievable. So if you have the opportunity, please, particularly now, as the games have, it's getting to be what I like to call Men's League May, when I can finally get out there and make $60 a game. For Men's League.
50. 55.
Oh, that's why you got to pick the right one. Anyway, shout out to the $60 Men's League games.
Yeah. About $1.15 a player, okay?
Right, yeah. Don't get the one.
You're not happy? Here's the refund. You get change for $1.25. Here's your money back.
Right. But we've got some time. Pucks for Autism. I mean, there are so many great causes out there that you can go and volunteer your time and stay moving on the ice. Right? You can keep your legs going and give back a little bit. We're always, I don't want to say on the take, getting paid for all this stuff, because nobody's getting rich out here doing this. Listen, I mean, we have a ton of time we're investing in this thing. But I'll tell you what, there's no better investment than your time. I heard somebody say, I can't remember what podcast it was, but it was an NHL guy. He said, I learned real quick that 5,000 of my dollars are worth far less than 5 minutes of my time. And you can't say it any better than that. Your time in helping with this, like the experience that you get to put out there for these guys is so worth it.
Yeah. Anthony's chiming in. He said, first weekend since May of last year, the registrar email did not have anything in the inbox. Yeah, Anthony, you're an unsung hero, my friend. I know what you're involved with and how busy you stay and all the volunteer work. So thank you for that. Really do appreciate it on behalf of all the members of the Illinois hockey community. For meeting Brett at the Mission-hosted U14 Nationals hosted 2 years ago, I've been impressed with the professionalism both on and off the ice, but off the ice. I think that's what it said, but yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It's so funny. The UC game, right? I'm saying something to the coaches real quick, and Karen pops out from the tunnel. It was like, as soon as I saw her, like my face lights up, right? Yeah. Like a staple in the rinks, somebody who's taking care of us, taking care of the players. Just another one of those people that's out there that makes such a difference in our game. Karen, thank you. Thank you for everything.
She's a fixture to Illinois hockey, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's always good to see her in the building. You're in good hands. She's involved, so appreciate that.
As soon as we made eye contact, it was almost like we were just hugging it out, and we were probably 10 feet away from each other, but we knew we had it.
Yep.
Awesome.
Well, I guess I think we should conclude on that, because I think that's all really good stuff today. And
I agree.
we had a video. We were going to get into some of this stuff, but let's save that, Brett. We'll get you back. I know you got a lot of videos, and we'd like to do a day of videos, but I think this was such a special way to wrap up. It's been a great weekend, and now we've got teams off to nationals. You want to tell us a little bit about that, Brad? Who's going? What's going on? And
so I don't actually know who's going, because I know at a lot of the levels we have 2 teams from the district that were able to go. And it all depends on how many bids there are from around the country. And then because A-High is the largest affiliate of USA Hockey. So we have the most players, coaches, referees in the nation in our district. So they sometimes kick us some extra bids. I don't know how that all works out. Don't quote me on it, but I do know, like, we had 2 teams, U14 Tier 2 women that I was at one of the games. Both of them were moving on. And I think the 16s was that case too. I know that that's not 100% across the board, but I don't know exactly who's going yet. I haven't even gotten a list of referees that are going 100% yet. I do know quite a few in the Chicagoland area. We have 2 that I know of that are going out to the 16s and 18s in Las Vegas. Hopefully they come back and return from Las Vegas.
A lot of fun there,
So, but I don't think I think everybody will be okay. They know the assignment that they're up to. So, but it should be a good time.
We got stuff like this going on in Las Vegas. Okay.
So, but the teams will move on and everybody's ready to go. High school nationals will be first because they're going to be 2 weeks before everybody else. So we'll have that, and I'm excited to see what.
New Trier got to the finals last year, didn't they? I think, did they lose to St. Mary's? Was that who beat them and ultimately?
Think so, right, Brett? I think that was
good hockey. I think.
Yeah, it was Shattuck. I was looking at that. I saw that. I saw that on Instagram earlier. If I'm not mistaken, I thought that our combined was in Pool B of that big one.
I believe they are.
Yeah, so they're in the same pool as New Trier. I mean, different division. Like they have the national division and the American division. Doesn't matter. But I think they're in the same one, the prep version of it, which is interesting.
Prep won it last year. That's right. I mean, they won it. They came back national champs. And I keep trying to get Panos on the show, the coach, and he wants to do it. We need to reach out to him because we just haven't brought him on here for that. But that was quite an experience, and congratulations. New Trier got to the finals. They're going back. They've got a great shot of winning, and I'm sure. So we just got some great talent that goes and produces. So it's all good.
Yeah, congratulations to all those teams that are going out there and the officials. Another just big thing that everybody works for all year. So whoever's going, I know I've a handful of people that I know that are going out there, and I'm just so proud of them all for everything that they've done all season. And the teams too, right? I mean, this is not like a mail it in assignment here. They gotta work. So just another great thing for youth hockey.
Well, Brett, thank you for coming on today. I appreciate it, sharing your your experience and all that good stuff, and definitely want to get you back with some videos so we can have some fun and some participation with all of our viewers that watch, and for all you that watch the reruns or the rebroadcasts on YouTube, that's the best place to find them. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. It doesn't cost you anything. Doesn't cost you anything to hit the like button every now and then too. You should be doing that automatically. So just makes the program that much more available to everybody else for the algorithm that YouTube uses. So, and of course we're on Facebook as well. So we're even on Twitch. We're all over the place. But Brad, congratulations on a great season. Thanks for all you do. I know it's been busy. Get a little break. Same with you, Brett. Great to see both of you guys. We're going to keep going. I mean, we're getting back into the full mode here in a couple of weeks. I think like the first week of April, we're kind of back at it pretty big time with all the high school hockey that opens back up for spring league and tournaments. I know the big tournament is coming, the Chi-Town Shuffle. If you're not taking games for that yet, I'm sure they can use your help. A lot of games here, big tournament, big weekend here in Chicago. And with that, we'll see you guys all back next Monday right here, starting at 5:30 p.m. Chicago time. And have a great week, everybody. Hope you had a great season. Looking forward to next season already. All right, everybody. On behalf of Brett Straley, our referee-in-chief, Brad Baumruck, I'm Scott Smokin Silz from Chicago. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you next week right here. Take care.